Recognize the member for Nevis 3.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to do likewise and make a brief statement under the caption Statements by Ministers. There's always a lot to report, Madam President, but in the interest of time, I will try not to be tarry too long today. So I'll try to be as brief as possible. And I'm going to report in three main areas: in agriculture, in housing, and under culture. Madam President, the Department and the Ministry of Agriculture has always been extremely busy. And of course, we know that we would have recently hosted a huge event at the ETW Park. But this past Friday, the Department of Agriculture would have collaborated with the Nevis Tourism Authority and to host one of the events for the Nevis Mango Festival, which has grown tremendously over the past 9 years. And the Department of Agriculture has been collaborating and partnering with the Nevis Tourism Authority over these years, and we did so again on Friday. And I'm very pleased to indicate that we hosted an activity for the Mango Festival for the first time at the Indian Castle Fruit Orchard. So we would have hosted the open day, which was hosted on Friday the 30th of June. At that event, we would have had the mango eating competition, the mixologist competition. You would have had a display of mangoes as well in terms of the different varieties. You would have had a mango hunt. I have to say, unfortunately, though, that this is, I think, the first year where we're having the mango festival when much mangoes were not around. But however, because we have been so forward-looking at the Department of Agriculture, we have mango pulp practically year-round. And so most of the dishes that were prepared during the weekend, we were able to use the mango pulp because there was very slow we were very slow in terms of the fresh mangoes for this year. So I want to commend the department for its activity at the Fruit Orchard Day in Indian Castle on Friday, and I want to commend the Nevis Tourism Authority for another successful mango festival. As I said, the department is always busy, and so we will be hosting another event on the 4th of August, which will be a part of the official activities for Culturama. We'll be having our fruit festival, and this time, for the first time, we'll be heading to the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park to host that event there. We normally host it in the heart of Charlestown. I remember a few years ago we hosted it at the Villa, but this year we're heading to the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park on Friday, the 4th of August. And I just want to make this appeal to persons who may be interested in operating booths. You're asked to register at the Department of Agriculture at Prospect. The closing date is Friday the 28th of July. I'm also making an appeal for persons who wish to take part in the cake and the ice cream competition, which has always been a part of the Fruit Festival. Registration closes again for these two competitions on Friday the 28th of July, and the base for the ice cream competition this year, for those who are interested, will be planting. And I also have to indicate that this year, for the first time, we're having a new initiative during the Fruit Festival, something called a fruit eating relay. And so you know that the Department of Agriculture has always been very creative. And so we're having something new this year called a fruit eating relay. I guess you'll have to have a team of members in your relay team, and then you'll eat fruit, go to a different section, eat again. But you have to be there to come and experience. So those of you who might be interested, start getting your relay teams together for the fruit eating relay. Madam President, I am also pleased to indicate here in this honorable house that we had a very historic groundbreaking on Tuesday the 27th of June at Prospect, where we would have broken ground for the construction of the poultry processing plant. I'm sure, Madam President, you and all who are here in this honorable house, those who are listening, those who are viewing, would have heard us at the department and the ministry speak a lot about the broiler poultry production project which we are embarking on. And of course, this would have started under my predecessor for the Minister of Agriculture, that is the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. I'm happy that I would have taken the baton and I'm running with it. And so we would have had that groundbreaking at Prospect. And the facility will include a plug-and-play processing line with a capacity of 800 birds per hour, a spin chiller and an auto carousel cut-up line, chill and freezer units, as well as administrative offices. And Madam President, this is something that our country, our island, and St. Kitts and Nevis should be very proud of, because upon completion, it will be the first of its kind in the sub-region. And it will go a long way in reducing our chicken imports. Madam President, our chicken imports in the Federation annually is over $18 million. $18 million. And so, Madam President, we saw the potential and we decided to go for something like this. I want to commend here once again the Honorable Alexis Jeffers for starting this project, and I want to commend all of our partners as well. We have the Taiwanese Technical Mission. They have signed an agreement for the construction of a hatchery in St. Kitts. Of course, we know that once we are embarking on a project like this, we need to have a reliable source, a reliable supply of day-old chicks. And so the Taiwanese Technical Mission is on board with us. AICA is on board with us. We should be getting a consultant from Trinidad and Tobago sometime in the very near future to guide us along the way in terms of this new industry that we're embarking on. We have the support as well of the project management unit here in Nevis, the planning department, and so I want to say thanks as well to all of our partners for this initiative. And of course, Madam President, I also want to stress that this administration is very serious about investment in agriculture. Very, very serious about investment in agriculture. And we have invested over $286,000 US dollars. That's over $750,000 EC dollars on this piece of equipment from the United Kingdom. And it shows that we are serious about food sovereignty, food security. We are serious about small businesses. We are serious about eating more of what we grow and growing more of what we eat. We are serious about the health of our nation, because we always believe that what we grow locally is much more nutritious and more healthy than what comes from overseas. Madam President, very quickly, in terms of housing, of course, the Nevis Housing and Land Development Corporation, we continue to try to meet the needs of housing here on the island of Nevis. I know that sometime back we would have launched 4 housing projects: Hamilton, Craddock Road, Cherry Gardens, and Rices. And I'm very pleased to indicate that the project there at Rices, which is the Bayview Gardens, we have started 4 houses there. I know there was a lot of talk that we broke ground and nothing happened, but we have now started 4. We have 8 houses allotted to that development, and we have started 4. And I want to make this special appeal to persons who are making application for the houses from the Nevis Housing and Land Development Corporation, because normally we are overwhelmed. We are swamped with applications. If we start a development and we are supposed to have about 20 houses, we normally get in excess of 50 to 60 applications. And so, unfortunately, we cannot satisfy the demands of all of the persons who require homes. We are trying our best, but I want to let persons know that there is a process. And so once you would have made the application, it does not necessarily mean that you will get a house. You have to make the application. Once you get an offer, you have to go to the bank. The bank will tell you whether or not they can proceed and process the loan. And it takes a while. So if we have offers out, if we have 20 houses to be built and we have 20 offers out, those 20 offers will take time before we can, if those persons do not get through, then it takes time before we can start the process for some other persons. So I want persons, please to have patience. We will try as much as possible to get to you once we have space. And finally, Madam President, in the area of Culturama, of course, we know that Culturama is in the air. Culturama fever has started here on the island of Nevis. And of course, we are just a matter of days away from the official opening of the festival. And I just wanted to indicate to the general public what we have done so far in terms of Culturama. We would have had the media launch on Friday the 16th of June at the Malcolm Gishard Park. Quite a lovely and successful event. We would have had the session of the contestants on Monday, June the 19th at the Mount Nevis Hotel. We would have had 3 action corners, Madam President. On June the 2nd, we started at the waterfront in Charlestown. June the 17th, we went to H&M Bar at Cotton Ground. And July the 1st, we went to Dewdrops in Westbury. And of course, people would realize that for 2023, as we gear up for our 50th anniversary in 2024, we have done things a little different this year. And we are taking the action corners around the island. Previously, they were all hosted in Charlestown. But we are now spreading the action, spreading the vibe, spreading the Culturama fever throughout the island as we get ready for the launch on the 27th of July. The Calypso tents as well, we've had 2. We've had one at the Old House Cafe on Father's Day, June the 18th, very well received. And then this past Sunday, July the 2nd, we had one at the 869 Bar and Sports Bar and Grill there in the heart of Gingerland. And Madam President, let me also just indicate to members of the public what the rest of the pre-activities are looking like. This week, on Friday the 7th of July, we have something called the La Paloma Multi-Complex Presents Roll Deep at the Cultural Village, starting at 9 o'clock. On Saturday, the 8th of July, we have an action corner, and that venue will be at the Big Six Flavors in the heart of Gingerland at 7 o'clock. On Sunday, July the 8th, we have the Senior Calypso Eliminations, and that will be held at Mem's Pizzeria from 7. And the admission is only $20. And of course, I think we have about 15 or 16 Calypsonians who will be vying for a spot in the TDC semifinals. So we are asking Calypso lovers to come out and support. I also have to mention that at the Action Corner on Saturday night, we have another of the Soca teaser tents. We would have had a Soca teaser tent at Cotton Ground, and we're having another one at Big Six on Saturday. Then on Friday, the 14th of July, we have the Richards Promotion 5-in-1 Fete. Of course, we know that is a massive event. Cultural Village at 9 o'clock. And then on Saturday, the 15th of July, we have another action corner at Esme's Sunrise Bar at Butler's from 7 o'clock. That will be the final action corner. Then July the 16th, we have the St. Kitts and Nevis Restaurant Week Tasting Showcase at the Malcolm Gishard Park at 2 p.m. On Friday, July the 21st, we have the opening of the Cultural Village starting at 8 p.m. Then on Saturday, July the 22nd, we go to the Villa Grounds for the Sunrays Pre-Juve Warm-Up Fete at 3 a.m. Then in the evening at 8 p.m., we have the Soca Monarch semifinals at the David Freeman Center of Excellence in Gingerland. And then on Sunday, the 23rd, we have the Calypso semifinals at the David Freeman Center of Excellence at 7 p.m. So that rounds off the pre-activities. And quickly, Madam President, for the official activities, on Thursday the 27th, we have the official opening, and that will be at the Cultural Complex at 7 p.m. We also have on Friday the 28th, we have the AMP Promotions Silent Headphone Glow Party at Lynn's Deli at 8, or that should be at 9. On Saturday the 29th, it's the Empire Sports Club Aquatic Extravaganza at the waterfront from 10. Then in the in the afternoon as well, we have the OSM Big Six T20 cricket match at the ETW Park at 3. Then on Sunday the 30th, we have the Republic Bank Mr. and Miss Talented Youth pageant at the Cultural Complex at 7. Then on Monday the 31st, we have Poets in the Square at Memorial Square in Charlestown, and that of course goes for the entire week. On that Monday as well, we have the Bonnie Night of Steel as well as the five-a-side panorama contest. That is something new at the Cultural Complex at 8 p.m. On Wednesday, the 2nd of August, we have Poets in the Square again, and we have day one of the Taiwanese Expo at the MGR Park, the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, from 2 p.m. We have the Greenhouse Band Junior Calypso Contest, and that will be at the waterfront in Charlestown from 5 o'clock on Wednesday the 2nd. We also have the Rhythms Dance Theatre production at NEPAC at 8. Then on Thursday the 3rd, we have Poets in the Square. Once again, we have day 2 of the Taiwanese Expo at the park, Malcolm Gishard Park. We have the National Bank Soca Monarch Finals at the Cultural Village at 8 p.m. Then on Friday the 4th, we have the Fantastic Friday. I also already spoke about the Department of Agriculture Fruit Festival at the Malcolm Gishard Park from 10. We have day 3 of the Taiwanese Expo at the Malcolm Gishard Park from 10. We have Poets in the Square, and then we have the TDC Senior Calypso Contest at 8 p.m. at the Cultural Complex. Winding down, Madam President, on Saturday the 5th, we have the National Bank Cultural and Art and Craft and Food Fair, and that will be at the Malcolm Gishard Park from 10. We have day 4 and the final day of the Taiwanese Expo, and then we have the Magnum Culturama 49 Wet Fete, and that is a huge event for the young people. That will be at the Cultural Village from 9. On Sunday, we have Sunday the 6th, we have the St. Kitts Nevis Drag Racing Association International Drag Racing Meet, and that will be at the St. James's Raceway from 12 noon. We have the Bank of Nevis Miss Culture Queen Pageant at the Cultural Complex from 8 p.m. On Monday the 7th, that's Emancipation Day, Juve, and the Long Jam. Streets of Charlestown, Streets of Gingerland into Charlestown. We have the Herbert Beach Affair from 12 noon. We have the FFCU Miss Caribbean Culture Queen Pageant at the Cultural Complex at 8:30. And then we culminate things on Tuesday the 8th with the Culturama 49th Street Parade and Last Lap. Madam President, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all who have been on board in terms of sponsors, and our sponsors have come out in a very big way this time, and I want to say a special thanks to them. Madam President, I want to encourage persons to come out and support Culturama. It belongs to all of us. And I just want to make a very quick plug in terms of our sponsors. So far we have Bonnie, we have Flo, SL Hosfords, TDC, the NHLDC, Republic Bank, Rams, Carib Breweries, Carib Jack, Four Seasons, National Bank, Bank of Nevis, Chameleon Media, Nevlec, Greenhouse Band, First Federal Credit Union, Stella's Engineering, and Stage Right. And once again, I want to ask and encourage persons to come out in their numbers and support what promises to be a fantastic Culturama 49 as we get ready for the homecoming festival, Culturama 50, next year. May it please you, Madam President.
Thank you.